What's up, YouTube? It is Derek from Vestige Gaming coming at you guys again with more Palworld TCG. So I had a few requests for the blue-red dragon deck, so I threw this one together. I don't know if this is the perfect build. Like I've said, the format's still shaping up, but I do feel like this build has performed pretty solidly from my testing, and I think it's definitely a fine build. I mean, this is more of like a template anyway. You know, you can take the list and do whatever you want with it. I'm just here to give you guys like a good example of how I would play the deck. But anyway, we're just going to get right into it here. So the first card we play, and our first lucky pal, is 4 copies of Chillet, Dragon Whisperer. And this is the reason the deck is allowed to even exist, the dragon deck is, because when Chillet is deployed from anywhere, it has the ability to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a dragon, it comes straight into play, and if it's not, it goes to your hand. So at its worst, it is a 5 soul to have a 900 by 2, and it draws you a card when it enters. That's worst case. Best case scenario, this card just snowballs you to an automatic win. So you have to play 4 Chillet. That's not optional. The next thing I'm playing is I'm playing 4 Yormantide Ignis and no regular Yormantide. I feel like you don't need it. I feel like you should be trying to hit this card as consistently as possible off of Chillet. This card is the way you can, you know, theoretically, potentially win the game on turn 2 if you hit this card off of your Chillet. Very powerful, trades very well, and if it sticks for a turn, then it just becomes like a huge threat. So I do think you need to play 4 of this. I mean, you could try 2 and 2, but I do think that you should play 4 of this, and obviously you can't play 4 of each because they're all lucky pals. So I do think that 4 Ignis is the correct answer. The next thing we play is 4 Relaxor, and this is a really solid card to also hit sometimes off of your Chillet, and it's fine to just play 2. This card, when he comes down, he taps one of your opponent. I'm sorry, he rests. Let me get taps out of my mind. He rests one of your opponent's pals that cost 6 or less, and as long as he's on the board, that pal does not restand. So he like permanently taps something down as long as he's allowed to live. He is kind of a small guy at 1200, so he's not huge. He can die to like most in-game things, but as long as you keep up your negates and things like that, you can keep something very important. Like this card keeps Dig Toys tapped down, so this card, you know, is very, very good for that. If nothing else, keeping a Dig Toys tapped down is good enough sometimes to just win you the game on its own. Next is 3 copies of Elphedron Aqua. So if this card costs 5, this card would be the best card in the deck, but unfortunately it costs 6. So what this guy does is on deploy, you draw 2 cards, and then you choose 1 card from your hand and stack it on top of your deck. So if this card costs 5, you could combo this with Chillet. Unfortunately, it does not. So there's, right now in like blue-red, there's no way to combo this with Chillet to immediately hit something off the top. But drawing 2 and putting 1 back on top is still fine, and if you hit this off of Chillet, it doesn't feel bad. It gives you a +1 when it comes down, or rather it replaces itself when it comes down. And you can also use that stack to put a lucky pal on top of your deck. A good player is going to play into that with a single striker, but if you get lucky, you know, your opponent, they only have like a 4 striker or a 3 striker, then you can just stack a lucky pal right on top, and it will make sure you don't take damage from the first strike. So it is still really solid. Next, for like the non-dragon stuff, I'm playing 4 Celeray Loop-de-Loop. So this card is really, really good. It is a 3-drop, 4x1, so it's not huge. For a 3-drop, typically you expect 500, but 400 is fine because it has the ability that when it attacks, you draw a card and discard a card. So it lets you cycle through things that you're not going to be able to use anymore, and it lets you, you know, continuously cycle your deck. The play here is to obviously combo Chillet with the 2-drop event that we'll talk about later. So like getting to that is very good, and it's also just a guy that they have to remove if they don't want you to keep getting advantage off of it. So I think that card is a really good little single striker. We play 8 Interrupts. We play 4 Fox Sparks and 4 Raindrix. We play these because they're the smallest ones that we can play. We need more small guys. We have a lot of top end, but we don't have like a lot of small guys and mid-game threats. So that's why we play these. And you can, you know, in worst case scenario, you can throw these down and kill something with it. And they both, you know, this card is a 4-drop that strikes for 2. So those are pretty good. And yeah, I think 8 Interrupts is enough. I was originally playing 11, interrupts, but I did cut down to 8. I felt like 11 was just a bit too excessive. For the gear, we're playing 4 copies of Pump Action Shotgun. This card is just insane. If you open this and your opponent starts to flood, you can just kind of do nothing. You can kind of set back a little bit and like let them hit your life down to like 6 or 7, and then you board wipe them on 7 soul, and it just immediately puts you back into the game. If this card goes like 1 for 2 or 1 for 3, it's very, very strong, and just board wipes are very good in general. And then we play 3 copies of Single Shot Rifle. Kind of the same thing as Pump Action. The only difference is this card hits for 15, so it can hit a little bit of bigger threats. This can hit Wumpo Baton. I'm sorry, this can hit regular Wumpo, and it can stop him from locking you out of the game. And this card also hits things like Reptyro and Reptyro Crist. So it can, deal with a little bit bigger threats than Pump Action. 1500 is like a really solid midpoint right now. So, very good. And then we're playing 4 copies of Sphere Workbench. This is our structure. We just want to try to get to our, our Chillets and our Ignises as quick as possible. This card allows us to do that relatively consistently. It is a 2-drop, so it'd be much better if it was 1. But this one is just assign a pal, draw 2 cards, and then discard a card. So it's after turn 1, this card becomes a +1 every turn. So it's very good. For our events, we're playing 3 copies of Victor Strategy. I was originally playing 4 of this, but I feel like it was kind of clunky at 4. You need if this costs 2, it would be amazing because you could use it with your at the same turn as your Ignis, which would be great. You can still use this to look at the top 5 and grab a Relaxaurus. So it does still have its places, it's still very solid, but I do think 3 is enough. Next, we play 2 copies of Axle Strategy. This one is very versatile in the deck too. You can either blow something up for 1500, or you can make it where your opponent's big things can't block, or you can make it where you get to restand your dudes equal to the number of gear you have. So in the late game, this card's not usually dead either, because you can restand your dudes. If you can use this to restand an Ignis the same turn you use its effect, it becomes a real threat. 12 hit from an Ignis is very strong. So yeah, definitely good. And plus, just shooting for 15 is also not bad sometimes. The most important card in the deck, as far as events go, is Aurora Guide. This is the card that kind of makes the deck work, so to speak. It has the ability Quick, but that's almost never relevant. But you can draw a card, and then you choose 1 card from your hand and put it on top of your deck. This is how you stack your deck for Chillet. Right now, this is the best way to do so. This is just the best way to manipulate the top of your deck. So for 7, you can resolve a Chillet, assuming you have another dragon in your hand, and it will, it's always a guaranteed of whatever you want that you put back from your hand. So mandatory 4 of. The last card is 3 copies of Crystal Breath. I was originally also playing this card at 4. It's more of like a controlling variation of the deck, but I do feel like 3 is fine. This card blows out Yormantide Ignis. It turns Yormantide Ignis from a 8-striker down to a 2-striker. So that feels really good. And you can also just use it against regular 3-strikers. This is very good against Dig Toys. It's very good against Shadowbeak, things like that. I think at 3 it's just very powerful as a quick to just keep something rested for an entire turn. You can also use this as a bit of an aggro card. If you know you have lethal next turn, if your opponent doesn't have a blocker, you can just make sure that their blockers, their vigilance things and things like that. If it doesn't have vigilance, you can keep something tapped down, and it's just very powerful. So I think it's definitely worth playing 3 of. You can honestly play 4 of this. You can make an argument for it, but I think 3 is fine. That's it for the deck. Like I said, I don't think it's perfect. I'm still going to tweak around with it, but this is just a good solid core for people to base off of, especially people who are new to the game. And maybe you can just guys leave me a comment down below if you think that you have a better way to play the deck. Maybe leave me a link to your video and we can talk it over and figure out what we got going on. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks guys, signing off.